Before you ever think about entering the world of organized crime in Japan, you need to understand one thing. The Yakuza aren't just criminals. They're an ancient brotherhood, a shadow society bound by rules, rituals, and a code of honor that's older than some empires. Welcome to the world of the Yakuza. If you're new here, subscribe, because what you're about to hear isn't just history, it's the dark heartbeat of Japan's underworld. Picture Tokyo at night. Neon signs, crowded alleys, the smell of ramen and cigarette smoke in the air. Somewhere behind a sliding paper door, men sit in silence, dressed in sharp black suits, their arms tattooed from wrist to shoulder. These tattoos aren't fashion, they're identity. Every swirl of ink tells a story: loyalty, crime, pain, rebirth. This is the Yakuza. But who are they really? And how did they become one of the most powerful criminal organizations on Earth, operating in plain sight, yet hidden behind tradition? To understand the Yakuza, you have to go back, way back, to the 17th century. Japan was in the Edo period. Samurai still roamed the land, but not all of them had masters. Some were ronin, wandering swordsmen who lived by their own rules. When peace came, they were no longer needed. So what happens when trained warriors have no war to fight? They found one. Some became protectors, others became gamblers and outlaws. Two groups rose from this chaos: the Takiya, street peddlers who sold goods at markets, and the Bakuto, gamblers who ran illegal dice games. Together, they evolved into what we now know as the Yakuza. The word Yakuza itself comes from a losing hand in a traditional Japanese card game, Yakuza, or 893. It's a worthless combination. In other words, society saw them as losers, outcasts, but they turned that insult into pride. Because in the Yakuza world, being an outsider means freedom. Freedom to make your own laws, your own brotherhood, your own justice. By the 20th century, the Yakuza had grown into an empire. They controlled gambling, real estate, entertainment, construction, and politics. At one point, Japan's national police estimated over 80,000 active members across hundreds of clans or families, known as kumi. But the Yakuza aren't just gangsters. They're a paradox. They fund disaster relief after earthquakes. They hand out supplies during crises. They protect neighborhoods, but also terrorize them. They exist in a gray zone between crime and order, between loyalty and corruption. Inside this shadow world, the structure is strict, almost militaristic. At the top stands the Oyabun, the boss or father figure. Below him, the Koban, loyal soldiers, literally children. The bond between them is sealed by a ritual called sakazuki, the sharing of sake. One cup to the father, one to the son, a symbolic act of eternal loyalty. Breaking that loyalty is the ultimate sin. And in the Yakuza, betrayal has a price. That's where yubitsume comes in, the infamous ritual of finger cutting. When a member makes a mistake or dishonors his boss, he must atone by cutting off a piece of his little finger. It's not just punishment, it's symbolic. Without part of your finger, your grip on a sword weakens. You become dependent on your boss for protection. It's brutal, but it's the Yakuza way. Their code is built on ninkyo, the code of chivalry. It emphasizes honor, loyalty, and courage, even compassion. A Yakuza is expected to protect the weak, respect the hierarchy, and never act cowardly. That's the paradox. They can commit murder in one breath and donate to a children's charity in the next. But what makes the Yakuza truly unique isn't just their code, it's their visibility. For decades, they operated openly. They had offices, business cards, even official logos. Ordinary citizens could walk by a Yakuza headquarters and know exactly who ruled that block. In the 1980s, Japan's economic boom brought the Yakuza billions. They infiltrated construction projects, stock markets, and real estate. They became businessmen in suits, but their souls remained loyal to the underworld. Then came the government crackdown. In 1992, Japan passed the Anti-Boryokuden Law, officially labeling Yakuza groups as violent organizations. Suddenly, being a gangster meant losing access to banks, housing, and business licenses. Membership plummeted, families fractured. But here's the thing, the Yakuza never disappeared. They adapted. They went online. They went underground. Today, their structure is smaller, but their influence remains in politics, construction, cybercrime, and even the entertainment industry. The Yakuza aren't what they used to be, but the code still exists. Loyalty, silence, respect, and the unspoken rule. Once you're in, you never really leave. Even those who retire, known as hamon, carry the stigma forever. Their tattoos mark them for life. In Japan, full-body tattoos are still taboo. That's why you'll never see Yakuza members in public baths or swimming pools, not because they're afraid of being caught, but because they're living ghosts of their own brotherhood. So, what should you know before you ever think about becoming part of something like this? The Yakuza isn't about power or glory. It's about submission to a code, to a family, to a life you can never escape. Their traditions are fascinating. Their loyalty is legendary. But behind the honor lies a truth. No one truly wins in the world of organized crime. If you found this story as haunting as it is fascinating, subscribe for more deep dives into the real underworld, from the streets of Tokyo to the alleys of Los Angeles. Because next time, we'll expose another hidden empire.